So the sneak peek page for Boruto 2 Blue Vortex chapter 11 has finally dropped, and I really wondered what exactly we were going to be seeing for this chapter. Last time it was something to do with Sarada and Hidari, and this time we are now seeing Himawari versus Jura. And this page isn't a page that is full with words, but it still has a lot of information from what we can already predict and start to envision we will be seeing in the following chapter. As the panel that we are given is one with Himawari, who is about to use the Tell Beast Bomb for the first time, and we have a Jura who is also reciprocating that same energy. There is a lot to discuss just from the two things that we are seeing here, and Himawari is absolutely broken because Himawari has just unleashed her own Biju bomb, her own Tell Beast bomb, and she is only 12. Correct me if I'm wrong, but she is 3 years younger than Boruto, and Boruto is 15 at the start of the time skip, so she should be around the age of 12. And this is absolutely crazy because Naruto only used the Tell Beast bomb consciously after getting KCM, and he had to go through all sorts of training for him to be able to unleash such an ability. But Himawari, only at the ripe age of 12, and who has just unleashed these powers that she has awakened due to her and Kurama being one and sharing the same body at the ripe age of 12, and versus a character like Jura, we have a Himawari who is going on the offensive. Because it does appear like Jura has been knocked away, as we see him flying back with speed line being drawn all around them, indicating some sort of emotion, and we have him also using a Biju bomb while he is being knocked away. All of it is telling us that at least for an instance during the fight, we have a Himawari who will be going on the offensive, and already just from seeing this is a better feat than Kawaki. Himawari clears Kawaki. Hey, I have to be the first one to say it, but I am joking. I'm not going to come to any conclusions. We're gonna wait for the full chapter to come by, but that's what everybody is saying already on Twitter. That's what the community is on. Kawaki is just getting violated, and a lot of people, it's all because of omnipotence. There would be a lot of people defending Kawaki if this happened back in the days and prior to omnipotence, but with all the information we get, this is just another reason to hate on Kawaki. But obviously we know that Jura did not take any sort of damage. If you do look at Jura's outlook, his mannerism, it doesn't seem like he's afraid, it doesn't seem like he's concerned about anything that's happening. And just like I've been saying in other videos, I feel like this fight is a Naruto versus Orochimaru type of a fight, where we have the character who looks like he's doing a lot of damage, but in all actuality, the other character, in this case for Naruto versus Orochimaru wasn't really trying, didn't really sustain any sorts of damage, and was just entertaining the fight to just see how strong she truly was. And we have Jura, who is this curious entity. Jura who has shown curiosity. It makes a lot of sense for him to see, okay, I do want to devour Himawari, but let me see her true extent of her powers. Let me see exactly what draws me so much to Himawari. And this is what we were seeing Jura doing. As if this fight was looking like Himawari was actually going to win, we would see scratches on Jura. We would see Jura maybe a little bit more panicked, because fear is an emotion that is felt when you are close to death, but Jura doesn't feel any of those sorts of emotions, and it still seems like he is curious, excited about this fight, although remaining a very nonchalant form of expression. And it's quite clear to me that Jura is holding back while fighting versus Himawari, but we have the same excuse for Kawaki. Jura was holding back versus Kawaki, as he literally said that he wasn't trying to kill Kawaki at this moment. So we have a Jura who's holding back on both opponents, but one opponent was able to knock him back. And how would you guys feel if we have some feats from Himawari that puts her exactly at around that Kawaki, Mitsuki, Sarada type of level, putting her as one of the strongest characters in the village when it comes to Boruto not being around? This would be something that is quite interesting. I do know a lot of people would hate it, but it makes a lot of sense. It's been foreshadowed for a while now. Damien, Jura, all of these people seeing that there is something quite interesting about Himawari. Kurama confirming that she has a higher affinity to Kurama's powers compared to Naruto himself, and Kurama and Himawari being one soul and one body. This is not where Kurama is sealed inside of Himawari. No, this is a one soul, one body type of situation that we are getting from Kurama and Himawari. So the extent of her powers does make a lot of sense. But however, the question that I really want to discuss is, does Jura need to keep Himawari alive in order to devour her? Because if we go back to all the instances where Jura has used abilities that is required for him to absorb a person, which in this case being Himawari, we saw that in chapter 10 or 9. I don't exactly remember the chapter off my head right now, but when he first spawned in and saw Himawari, he immediately tried to turn her into a tree and then devour her. It seems like Himawari has to be alive for Jura to be able to devour her. We have multiple instances when, just like Inajin, we had a Jura who could have simply just killed Himawari, but no, he decided to break her leg. No, he decided to stop her from being able to move. He then put a tree on Himawari and told us that he would slowly be taking the nutrients out of Himawari by her just being in that tree state. And then we have a Himawari who then unleashed her powers. To me, with all the information that we are starting to get and the attitude that Jura is displaying when it comes to Himawari and his intentions not to kill her but still to do harm, it does appear that Jura may need to have Himawari alive for her to be able to devour her. And the interesting outcome is that I do want to see what exactly would happen when one of the Shinju do end up absorbing one of the people that they are interested in. Do they stay alive in that tree state? Because we had information about Suegi, who was able to stay alive even though he was in that tree state, which gave us hope about Sasuke also being alive. However, the interesting fact is that Jura talks about it as he is absorbing and sucking out the nutrients from the person that is connected from the tree. So how much longer do these people live when they are in that tree state? This is a very concerning fact about the Shinju, because if they only stay there for a certain period of time, then Boruto really doesn't have much time if he wants to save Sasuke. We know that Hidari and the Shinju only appeared in chapter 4, so maybe it is from chapter 4 and onwards that Sasuke's nutrients are being extracted by Hidari from the Shinju. And from the other people that we're slowly going to see, it seems like we're going to be given a time frame of how much longer those people who are turned into trees will survive after the Shinju have appeared. So a lot of information is being given to us and there's a lot to extrapolate, and it doesn't stop there, because this is the perfect moment for us to see some very destructive feats from the Boruto verse. We know that with Boruto's Uzuhiko, large planetary, we know all about that, but we haven't seen those DC feats in the Boruto series like we used to get the Naruto one. Now we have a Team 10 that made the perfect decision to go outside the village so that if they are fighting, they're not going to damage the village. And this is the perfect moment for us to see those massive destructions. We are seeing a Biju bomb clash just like we used to get back near the end of the Naruto series during the war arc, and we know how crazy those moments were. The amount of destruction that we used to see was astronomical. So how is it going to be when we have stronger characters, Himawari and Jura, who are going to be having a Biju clash? But since we're talking about a Tail Beast Bomb clash, something that is quite interesting, and if you do pay attention to what we're seeing, is that Himawari's Biju Bomb is quite different from the one that we see from Jura. We see Jura's Tail Beast Bomb appearing in a more linear fashion. We see lines appearing all around the jutsu, and then we see a Tail Beast Bomb start to appear. However, with Himawari, we don't see that. We see more of a vortex or more something circular, as the motions for the Tail Beast Bomb to appear is more similar to that of a Rasengan. So is it going to be different, or is this simply just the best way that Himawari knows how to use the Tail Beast Bomb at the current moment? We know that Jura uses the Tail Beast Bomb with his eye, and we have a Himawari, as we can see from the panel, who is spawning it from her hair. I don't know if there's going to be a difference in the power exerted due to the different methods in which we're seeing both of them attain their Tail Beast Bomb. It is quite interesting to notice these differences. These differences could simply come from the fact that Himawari has seen Naruto use the Rasengan, and we know that the Rasengan is quite similar to the Tail Beast Bomb, as it is what inspired Minato to create the Rasengan. So maybe Kurama told Himawari to imagine a Rasengan forming for her to be able to create the Tail Beast Bomb, similarly to the information that Killer Bee used to tell Naruto when he was practicing how to use his Tail Beast Bomb. So this is the information that we are given. I am quite excited because this is not even Himawari at full strength. We saw Kijimoto's drawing for Theme 7. We had a Mitsuki with Sage Mode, we had a Sarada with the Mangekyo Sharingan, and we had a Boruto who appeared to have a Tail Beast cloak and also had the Byakugan. From now, with all the information that we now have been given, it is clear that this is going to be for Himawari. So the next step for Himawari, and we probably won't be seeing this in this fight, but the next step for Himawari would be for her to be able to use her Byakugan while in this state of using the Tail Beast chakra. This is how I believe that Himawari would then be solidified as one of the top tier characters, or maybe the strongest characters that we have ever seen in the Boruto series. So if you enjoyed this video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm out, bruh.